Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we will be creating my weekly language learning plan together. So as a polyglot, I guess it's an important content to be in my channel because people are wondering how I keep all those languages, how I don't forget them, and what will be an ideal plan of language learning. So this video can give you really good ideas in terms of organization, in terms of planning. But please keep in mind that I will be using 6 languages while creating my plan, and it's not like I'm encouraging you to do the same. I already have a certain level in these languages, so I can practice them and that wouldn't affect me in a bad way. But if you're learning your second or third language, please create more realistic plans, but you can still get some ideas watching how I create my weekly plan, okay? So while creating my plan, I'll be using Notion, but this is of course not the only way of creating your weekly plan. You can use anything else that you want. You can simply write it, or you can just watch how I'll be doing it on Notion. The first thing I did is that I created a Notion page called Weekly Plan, and right now I will be creating a priority rank. So the language that we'll be giving the most priority to will be Italian, and I'll be studying Italian 4 days a week. So the second level of priority goes to Russian, German, and Dutch. Those languages, I want to give more time studying and improving those languages, and I want to achieve new things with them, so that's why I place those languages to this level of importance. And lastly, we have Spanish and French, which will have 2 days for each. And the reason is that I just want to keep remembering those languages and also learning some vocabulary and going on practicing them. So after deciding which language is more important and which is less important, right now we will be trying to decide on what we are going to achieve with all these languages, and we are going to write them one by one. In order to do that, I'm going to create a table like this, and if you have difficulties using Notion, just look how I'm doing it. Okay, I just made titles from all these languages, and I'm right now going to change the colors so that they would be easier to differentiate from the points that we're going to write. So right now, as I planned everything, I want to talk in detail about my language goals. So as you can see here, I said that I want to improve my academic and daily language in Italian, and also getting a solid C1 because I'll probably be studying in Italy, and that's why I will have to improve my language skills to this point. So I think those are realistic plans in terms of Italian. And then we have Russian. The reason why Russian has this level of priority is that it's the second language that I use the most often in my daily life after Turkish, because I live in Istanbul and I have a lot of Russian friends. That's why I think I should give more importance to Russian. Actually, it's probably the language that I study the most, but still. I want to improve my daily language and I want to listen to Russian as much as possible because I want to sound more natural in Russian language. Most of my Russian knowledge comes from immersion and practice, but still, it can be better. And I also want to get speaking practice, and hopefully I have a lot of ways to do that, and we are fine with it. I enjoy studying Russian, and as I said earlier in my channel, I don't have really serious goals regarding Russian language, and I just want to enjoy learning it, and that's why we can keep Russian at this level of priority, I guess. For German, I guess my goals are pretty clear because I just want to complete B2.3 course that I'm currently studying on Lingoda, and I want to start studying C1, and I mentioned earlier on my channel that I want to get a German C1 certificate, but I kinda realized that it's kinda impossible to do this summer in Istanbul because the German exams in Istanbul are always ausgebucht. I don't know how to say it in English. That's why I'll probably taking this exam later this year and in somewhere else. So I still want to do it, but I don't know. But the point is the same, I should improve my German and take it to C1 level. And after German, we have Dutch. So you may know that Dutch is a language that I'm learning really easily thanks to German. So I just want to revise A1 and A2 level, and I also want to study B1 Dutch, and I want to speak Dutch in a way that fluency in B1 level requires it. After Dutch, we have Spanish and French, and I really have things to tell about those two. So I stated that I want to take online courses in Spanish and French, and those are not language courses. Those are about other things, but the language is Spanish or French. So I won't be actually studying those languages, but just doing different things using those languages. So the reason why I decided that I am studying Spanish and French in this way is that, you know, my French is already advanced and I don't feel like studying French, like studying grammar and stuff. And for Spanish, it goes the same for different reasons. So, you know, all polyglots have those famous 3 languages: Italian, Spanish, French. Like, everyone has those 3, or just 2 of them. And the thing is that Spanish was, for me, the last one of all these 3. That's why studying Spanish kind of feels illegal. Because at this point, I can literally like watch everything I want in Spanish, I can read every other book that I want, and I can easily have a political conversation in Spanish just because I know those French and Italian, but when it comes to studying Spanish, I just don't feel like studying Spanish because I already understand this language perfectly. My polyglot brain doesn't want us to study Spanish, okay? So that's why I won't be studying Spanish, but I will be just taking online courses about different stuff in Spanish. So for example, since 2 weeks I'm learning about emotional intelligence in Spanish and I have been reading a lot of articles, I have been watching videos, so that's probably how I'm going to continue studying Spanish during this summer. So to start with, I want to decide on which days I'm going to study Italian, so I think it's better if we do it on Monday, on Wednesday, on Friday and also on Saturday, so that we will have 4 days of Italian. And after Italian, we should find 3 days to study Russian, and I think we can just make them Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. So after those, we have German, and I just want to have Italian and German on the same day because those languages don't have something related and that wouldn't be a problem studying them at the same time. But since we have German 3 days a week, that's all that we have to plan. After those, we have Dutch, so I want to make sure that I'm not studying German and Dutch on the same day since they are pretty similar. So I want to put Dutch on Tuesday and also on Thursday, and lastly on Saturday. So Dutch is also completed. We need to find 2 days to study Spanish, and for those days I'm going to choose Tuesday and also Thursday. And lastly, we have French, and for French, I guess it's okay if we make it Wednesday and also Sunday. So lastly, we have French here. So for each language, one of the days dedicated will be for listening, and for Tuesday, I want to use Dutch for listening, and on Wednesday we can listen to Italian because we have a lot of languages to study, and on Thursday we can maybe go with Russian, and on Friday we can listen to German. So you may have realized that we don't have listening time for Spanish and French. It's because I will keep them optional. So on Monday it's optional for me to listen to French, and on Saturday it goes the same for Spanish. Like, if I feel like doing it, I can listen to Spanish on that day. And you know, this plan is just like for me to follow, and if I don't like something, I can change it, and I can change the days on which I'm studying which language, and I can also add something or delete something. I can also study a language that's not in the plan on that day. So everything is up to me, and that's a really flexible plan. Like, I'm just doing it so that I will have an idea about what to study. So right now we will add some details here, like on Monday, if you're going to study Italian, what you're going to do with this language. So for Italian, I want to go on with my C1 book that I'm currently studying, and I want to give it 1 hour. So for every other day on which we are going to study Italian, we are going to do the same thing, like I'll be studying Italian with this book. And on Friday, I also want to add 30 minutes because that day is relatively free, I guess. So after Italian, I kind of need to precise what I'm going to do on those days in which I'm going to study German. And what I'm going to do is I will be trying to complete my B2.3 course. And for time or the amount of study, we will going to say 1-2 chapters. So here we have Russian, and right now I'm studying Russian with a book, and I need to study 2 chapters every other day, and whenever I finish it, I can just update the plan. But right now we will say that I'm going to study 2 chapters every other day. So for Spanish, as I said, I will be taking online courses, and the platform that I use mainly to take online courses is edX. And I have been actually doing this for French for many years. I have been studying literature, history, political science in French by using those online courses. So we will be studying Spanish with edX courses. And for French, I will just add the same thing. And this can be like completing the chapter, completing 1 hour of studying, like. And for Dutch, I'll be studying Dutch on Busu, probably like, we can say 1 hour because it's a good time if I want to stay focused and if I want to revise the stuff that we have. So I think I pretty much organized everything because right now it's pretty clear what I'm going to study on those days and on which day I'm going to listen to some languages. For example, if that day I need to listen to something in German, I'm going to go to my German YouTube, like the account that I created specifically for German, and I'm going to watch some videos, like maybe for an hour, maybe for 45 minutes, or I'm just going to like try to, I don't know this term in English, but you know, pogrużenie? I'm just trying to achieve that in German language, for example. So this plan is to ensure that I'm studying languages in the best way possible and to show you guys how I create my language plan as a polyglot. But please don't forget that this isn't the way how I learned those languages because I didn't learn all of them simultaneously. This is just a way to maintain everything I know and to learn some other stuff as well. For example, according to the table that I just created, I can say that on Monday I will be studying from this Italian book and I will be going on with my German course for 2 chapters, let's say, and I'll be also listening to French. And on Tuesday I will be doing this and that, everything according to the table that we just created. And another point is that, for example, on Monday I did this and that, and I also listened to Russian. To make it clear that that was additional and I did it even if it wasn't in the plan, I will just take this and make it green so that by the end of the week I can say like I didn't have a plan to listen to Russian on Monday, but I still did it. And if I just observe this kind of regular additional studies on my weekly plan, I can update the plan. I can say like if I'm listening to Russian that much, maybe I should add another day of Russian listening. Like everything is up to you and you can adapt this plan to your language studies. Like if you are only studying English and German and maybe you are starting a new language, you can just adapt this plan to 3 languages and you will have more time to study. Actually, you are вам повезло. By the end of the week, I can see which tasks I'm likely to complete and I'm likely to enjoy, but which ones I always skip. For example, if I realize that by the end of the week I always skipped my Spanish courses, maybe it doesn't make sense to take online Spanish courses and I should change the way in which I study Spanish. So you should observe the plan, you should observe which tasks you are completing and which tasks you are skipping regularly. On Sunday, you can update your plan, you can add new points, you can delete some points. But for now, I guess this will be the plan that I'll be following for a while, and actually I'm following this plan since like 2 weeks. I just didn't show it and I just recreated it from zero to show you guys how I create my plan and how I actually how I decide, like, for example, the priority rank, and after creating a table, deciding on days and dedicating some time for listening. Like, I just wanted to show all of those steps in a video. So hopefully this video was helpful and it inspired you so that you can also create your language learning plan. But please keep in mind that it should be realistic, you shouldn't exaggerate. Like, I could also say I'm studying Italian 5 times a week and Russian 4 times a week, but I didn't do that. I say, okay, Italian is also well if you study it 4 times a week, but if you really want to study Italian that much, you can do it additionally, but I won't include that in the plan. For example, if I just put here I'm studying Italian every other day, I will probably do it, so. After creating your personalized language learning plan, you can also share it in the comments to give ideas to other language learners. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel and also follow me on Instagram. Thanks for watching this video. Good luck and see you again.